Here we are, Bromwich Family Butties again. And we might have to fight to get our. We might have to fight to get a share in here. Look at that salad, absolutely marvellous, isn't it?
There we go, that's $2.50, thank you.
Hiya, how are you doing?
I'm alright, thank you.
Right, yeah. He said to me you've got beef brisket on today.
We have. That's the beef brisket there.
Oh, that's it there, is it?
Yeah. Can I put a sandwich
It looks like worms, actually, that does.
Yeah, it's just all plums, it was like a big joint and then we pull it
I'm
off.
with you. Yeah.
And then,
Right, well look,
then we just stick it
and
in
what does
gravy.
that come with?
So you can have that in a bath,
Yeah.
a white bath with roast potatoes and gravy.
And what about those? You don't get the roasts then?
Yes, yeah, the roast potatoes.
So you get roast, gravy, and I'll have one of those.
You can have 3 piece of blankets for $1.50. It's extra. If you wanted some piece of blankets.
And how much is the brisket, please?
£7.50 for the roast.
£7.50. So it's £7.50 for that, and I can add 3 pigs in blankets for another £1.50, making it £9. I'll have one of those then, please, my darling.
Welcome back to Nikki's Nosh for food reviews we love. Exploring Yorkshire's finest spots, the flavours rise above. Restaurants, pubs and cute cafes, we savour every plate. Each bite tells a story here, where meals of life await. Join us now on Nikki's Nosh, and don't forget to like, comment and share. Thank you for joining us. See you soon. Join us now on Nikki's Nosh, and don't forget to like, comment and share.
So that's lovely, thank you. Yeah,
That's
but
just £9 altogether.
that's
then, thank you.
fantastic, thank you. And you'll give us a receipt as well, will
Yeah,
you?
of course I will.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're
Most
welcome.
grateful.
Take care. Nice
Cheers
to see you.
now.
See you
See you
later.
again. Bye bye.
Hiya.
Beef brisket. Ooh. Right then, we're not going to sit outside here this time. It's a bit bleak. You give me those. Right, so there we are. Let's say goodbye to Bromwich Butties and go home. And we'll open and eat this at home. So there you have it. Welcome back to Nikki's Nosh. Or welcome back to Bromwich Butties. Someone's going to persuade me or otherwise to give them a good review, because that brisket looks really nice. So I'm going to go to my car now. So next time you see me, I'll be back home. Well, there's no singing today because I'm really up against it in terms of time. I went to Bromwich Family Butties and I asked them what they've got, and they said we've got beef brisket, locally grown beef. The brisket was £7.50. Now, what you got for the £7.50 was a bun, a load of brisket, you got a load of roast potatoes, and that was it. They were offering that you could also have 3 pigs in blankets. Now, the pigs in blankets are, again, they're made at Bromwich Butchers, so I know the source of these things are all coming from good quality butchery sources. So I upped that. She gave me 4 because she must have thought I looked in need. Now, they wrapped this up and I had quite a lot of gravy put on it, and it's homemade gravy. You can see it's dripping. Now, this is heavy, and I really can't weigh it because there's gravy dripping out all over. So I'm going to just pull this foil away and let you have a look at what's in this pack. Now, this pack cost me £9. Now, if you remember, I went to the Black Bull and had a fairly instant meal from the Black Bull, which was 2 beef ribs. It came with some vegetables. And we've now got this. Now let's just open it. Now I'm going to take the butty off, put that over there, and I'm going to get a spoon and I'm going to tip everything in here and we can have a little look at what we got. But this looks, and this is heavy. This is a meal for at least 2 people again. So I might be having a bit of this for my lunch now, and I might have to leave some of it for this evening. Right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I think obviously I got the 4th one because obviously they had seen my earlier video. So I have to declare that I've had 1 extra pig in blankets. So let's count the roasts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I really don't think I've got room in, there's 5 there. Now I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a bowl. Right. So there's 5 in there. So let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 10 roasts. Well, there's a meal there. And then we've got the brisket. Now, obviously, the way brisket's done is it's cooked as one piece, and then it's sort of separated apart with forks. So, shall we separate out half of the brisket as well? It smells gorgeous. So we'll put half of the brisket in there. That's about half, and then we'll put the rest in here. We'll put the butty on top of there, and we'll use the bottom bread here as gravy dips. Yeah, are we happy with that? And then we've got some gravy, so we'll pour the gravy on there, and we'll pour the gravy on there. Now if there were 2 people living here, we'd both have a meal, wouldn't we? However, there's only 1 person, so I'm going to put this into my fridge, and I'm going to have half for lunch, and going to be half for my evening meal. So effectively, it's costing me £4.50, and it'll be a highly nutritious meal. Obviously, plenty of protein with the meat. Obviously, the roasts they're going to give me carbohydrate, but I'm not really fussed about that. I think, to be honest, I have got, if you look at that, do you think I've got a good meal there? Now, let's put that back on there. The gravy is obviously fighting its way out there. I'm just going to wash my hands. Now this is a fairly quick one because obviously you've seen me go to Bromwich Family Butties before. They do rotate their roasts, and so I thought it'd be nice for me to have something nice and hot for my lunch and my evening meal. I'll be able to heat that up, no problem at all. This weighs quite a bit actually. Probably work out how much half weighs. I have an empty bowl, so if I put the empty bowl on there and it's set to tare, so the empty bowl is now 0. I'm going to put this on top of there. I've got 377 grams on that bowl. I could do it for that, but I mean, I think it's about the same. I didn't put any pigs in blankets. Let's put 2 of those pigs in blankets in on there. Now that's equal quantities, and that makes 416 grams. 416 grams is what you would normally get in a ready meal, but this is properly cooked. So this is a properly cooked meal rather than a ready meal. So this has got no processing and anything. It's real meat, a real treat, and we've got obviously the real roast potatoes as well. So we're having a much better meal. This one's going to cost me £4.50. Now, if you go to Waitrose, you'd pay £4.50 for a beef biscuit ready meal. You'd pay a lot more than that, probably. Maybe it's £5. You went to Marx's, you might pay £8. We're getting a good meal here. And for £9, so I think I've got a bargain. I think I've got a tasty meal. But we'll only find out if it's tasty when we taste it. The gravy is marvellous. Right, shall we start off with a pig in blanket? I've got 2 cameras again today. So there's the pig in blankets. Yeah, can you see that? Okay. Now, let's put that in my mouth. And that. The sausages are made by Bromwich Butchers. The bacon, obviously, is smoky, streaky bacon. Not bad, really not bad. But these roasts are what I'm interested in. We've got, they're really sort of battered on the outside. Can you see that? Battered on the outside, lovely and soft on the inside. And I've got 5 of these. These are perfect. They're beautifully soft inside, a bit crispy on the outside. Totally delicious. If I couldn't cook these myself better. So far so good. Pigs in blankets, tick. Roast potatoes, tick. The bread bun's a bread bun, but let's dip it in the gravy. Let's see if the gravy gives us a tick. That gravy is a beef gravy. It's a proper beef gravy, and it's beautiful. Absolutely, totally, utterly beautiful. Now, look how much. I'm going to bring it to this camera's better. That's it. Look how much. Now I've had two roasts out of there, haven't I? I've had 1 roast and I've 1 pig in blanket. Look how much food that I've got left. Look at all this meat here. And now, proof of the pudding. We're going to do a spot of eating. Now, obviously, when they stretch it, they're obviously shredding it against the grain, or with the grain, and so it's sort of, it looks a little bit like worms in many ways, but it isn't worms. That beef is lovely. Absolutely beautiful beef. It really is. Melt in your mouth. Fantastic portion. It's got flavour right the way through. I don't know where you would go to get a beef brisket, but probably somewhere like Millers and Carter. I hate to think what they would charge for a portion of beef brisket in this one, and we're only talking about half the volume because the other half is in this bowl here. Now, Harry used to work for Knavesmire Butchers, so he's forged his own business now, and it's doing really well, and he has some fantastic things in the uncooked section of the butchers. He gets an idea from mixing stuff up, and then people buy it uncooked, they cook it. And other times, obviously, he is cooking it ready for the people who go into the butties section. And there's always a queue of big burly men wanting to buy one of these. This meat is gorgeous. It sort of reminds me of my mother's braising steak. I never found a way that I couldn't reproduce how she did it. Half of this is definitely going to be enough for me. If you don't live in York, do you have this sort of place where you live, where you can sort of turn up, they change and rotate the menu, and you can buy a hearty meal, hot hearty meal, for UK £8, so £7.50, so around about under $10, I suppose you might say. But in Britain, of course, there might be other places. So if you know of any places, please put their details in the comments, because whilst I may never visit there, obviously other people who are members of the channel might do, and so they might go to, for example, let's just say Willenhall in the West Midlands. That's somewhere near Wolverhampton and Walsall. Now, if you think there's a place in Willenhall, then give us the details. Let's put it in there, and then we'll know. Now, at some point in time, I might be able to afford to travel a little bit more, and if I go travelling, then obviously I can put it on the list. But we're searching out decent food. We're not. This is a takeaway, obviously, but it isn't really. It's a fully cooked meal that you could pass off as your own, really could. And it's good quality ingredients. Locally sourced beef, locally sourced potatoes, the eggs, Pateley Bridge, local, all from Yorkshire. And if you've got a favourite butcher, please tell me in the comments, if you live in York particularly, what's your favourite butcher and why? Because it would be really nice to know. And do they do this sort of meal? Because I know Naesmeyer they do a beef thing, but it's always the same, it's always beef. Turn it into Danny Malin. I've got the belly for it, I'm catching him up. But he's younger than me. And he's got more style. He seems so natural, doesn't he? I've just had another one of those pigs in blanket sausages. They're cooking. Well, what do you think? Do you think I've got a decent meal here, which I've managed to split into two? That's going to be my evening meal. This has been my lunch. £9 for the pair. I haven't had to cook. Obviously I'll have to heat this up. I'll put a plate on top of this. I'm feeling full already. This is going to really fill me up and set me up for a little sleep, because as I said to you, I was editing all night, and so I haven't been to bed yet, and it's now 12:15. I finished this. If I was served that in a restaurant, I would say fantastic. All they'd have needed to do was add a little bit of veg, some roast courgettes, and it would have been a meal you could have probably even passed off for 15 quid. And I paid £9 for all that. I didn't really need to buy the pigs in blankets. I mean, the meal in itself, £7.50 would have been a bargain. So there you are. So that's the end of this very quick video. I've enjoyed this for lunch. So I think I've got a decent brunch in that meal there. Started to cool down now. This one was going to go into the fridge, and then I'll be able to heat that up. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick video about, again, from Bromwich Family Butties. If you have enjoyed it, please tick the thumbs up button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. I've enjoyed that meal. If you've enjoyed the video as much as I've enjoyed eating that meal, we're all moving forward well. And so until the next time, from me, Nikki at Nikki's Nosh, cheers, my dears.
Please subscribe to Nikki's Nosh and like, comment